Hi, welcome back to OD YouTube channel and to another Friday night pen thoughts. And today it is episode number 21. A long time since I made the last one, about 1 month and a half. But I'm back, and today it is Lisboa, 3 de dezembro de 2021. And so let's start the video. Today I think it will be a little shorter. I still have lots of stuff to do today, even videos to record, but let's start this. So first of all, welcome again. I was missing a lot to make these videos because I love doing the Friday Night Pen Thoughts. I think they are nice because I can think and talk about some other topics rather than just fountain pen reviews. So first we will start showing you the pens that I have with ink for this video, and you saw them. One of those is the beautiful Pilot Costume 74, and the color is forest green. It's very hard to show, but now you can see it is a transparent green pen, and it's really a nice one, I think. So just so I can manage the organization of the video, let me write here pens for today. First we have the Pilot Costume 74 in forest green with a medium gold nib, and the ink is Diamine Mistletoe from the Inkvent calendar of 2019. And about the line of this nib, this is a very interesting nib because it is quite soft and you can have some line variation, which is maybe fun if you want to see that. So the pen is translucent green, and the section, the top of the cap and the bottom of the barrel are transparent gray. It is a cartridge converter pen. It takes the very good Pilot Con 70 converter, but it also allows you to bring with you Pilot cartridges, which is nice, and you can refill them with your favorite ink and just bring them with you. And here you can see the nib. It's not a big nib, it's the number 5, and it is gold rhodium plated. So very nice, very interesting pen that I'm using today with a very nice ink. This ink is a warm green. This is more a cooler green. You will not see that much difference here in this video. I think the lighting will not allow to see that perfectly, but believe me. The other pen that I'm showing is a pen that I don't get tired to show. It is an awful pen to show on camera because it grabs all the fingerprints and everything. It is a Kaweco Sterling Sport, and I'm so happy for having this pen. This is a very, I will not say rare pen, but it is uncommon, it is expensive, and I was lucky that Kaweco sent me one for review. I've been treating it very carefully, not to scratch it, because it's solid silver, very heavy pen, 56 grams of solid silver with a gold fine nib, and it is quite a nice pen. And I think I put a finger on top of these lines, so you have a smear there. So this one is the Kaweco Sterling Sport, which has a nib that's not scratchy, but it squeaks a little bit on paper, and I find that funny. I don't know if you can hear that on the microphone. And this pen has this fine gold nib, and it has Kaweco caramel brown ink inside. When you compare both nibs, you can see this is the standard Bock number 5 nib, and this is the Pilot number 5 nib. So they have different types of classification of the nibs, and you can see the Pilot nib is bigger than the nib on the Kaweco, but it's not that big, the nib on the Pilot. Now, the next topic that I want to talk about is the pens that I received since last video, and last video was in October, so I received lots of pens. Let me put them here. Pens I received since last video, and let me list them for you. One was this. This is a nice aubergine color pen, slim one, long, and has no branding here. It is Mercedes-Benz branded there, and there is a brand here in black on the lacquered cap, and you can see it is a Lamy pen. So this pen that I bought is a Lamy CP1, let's call it Aubergine for Mercedes, and this is an interesting pen. I like Lamy CP1s, and I got into a kind of collecting them, and I remembered that I need to reply to an email about some more of those. Another pen that I received, that one has no ink right now. Another pen that I received was this pen, and this is a Kaweco, and this Kaweco is a Kaweco Elite, which is a Kaweco with a number 6 nib, so a bigger one. I will write because it has ink, so this is the Kaweco Elite, and this is a modern pen, no longer available, but it is a modern one, has a fine nib. It has the full size, so it takes cartridge or converters, and it can take the full size international cartridge or converter. You don't need to use the short one. So this is a very nice pen, and it's bigger and girthier than a Kaweco Sport, as you may see. Another pen that I received that no longer has ink is this little thing, and this is the Gravitas Pocket in the color is olive gray. This pen was inked, it is no longer inked, it's not, I didn't clean it yet, so I need to do it. It is a short pocket pen with a very long section, girthy one, to be able to have a number 6 Yovo nib. It takes short international cartridges, and it has the overall shape of a Kaweco Sport, but I'm not saying it is an imitation in any way, but the cap doesn't have anything on the top. It has the logo of Gravitas there, and it has a single facet, so you can put it on a table to avoid it to roll. No clip, very well machined. Gravitas is for sure a very good brand. Another pen that I received was this one. This is the Osama, and this one, the video when I showed this pen for the pens that I bought in the month of October, I think, when I was showing the pen, the clip broke. So this is something I'll need to think about what I will do. The material on the pen is really nice. It has a Chinese nib, although it is an Italian pen. I like these materials a lot. So let me write here, and meanwhile the Kaweco is uncapped, so it may be a little drier. So Osama. The next pen is a online yellow pen, which is a fun German pen. It's not a current model. It is a kind of a new old stock that I got in a store, and it is an interesting pen with a feed, which is the same that I have in some Kaweco Sport, in some older Kaweco Sport, which is usually a nice feed. It is a cartridge converter pen, although it has this look there that may induce us to think it is a piston filler pen, but it's not. So this is the online yellow pen. This is nothing. And I really liked it because it's a very strong yellow, and I like yellow pens. The next pen that I have to show you, lots of them. This is the Kaweco Yacht Sport, which is a older version of the Kaweco Sport with a Schmidt nib before they started using Bock nibs and a black section, so the section didn't match, and it says Yacht Sport. It was a collection made of the Yacht, the Trekking, and the Ranger Sport. Kaweco Yacht Sport. Then we have the Kaweco Collection Cyan, which was a modern release that I showed you the review recently. Kaweco Collection Cyan. We also have another Kaweco collection, and this is a special in red. The model is called Special. I showed you the review of this pen also. I think this one has ink inside still, so Kaweco Collection Special Red. Oops, out of camera. So it is an interesting metal pen, and it was fun that Kaweco made one pen of their new special collections, of their new collection. I don't know how to say them. They have this kind of limited edition, which they call Kaweco Collection, and they usually make sport pens, and this time they decided to release a sport and a special, and it is nice. Then we have another Kaweco, which is a vintage one, Kaweco U51, which is this pen, U51. It is a vintage Kaweco that is clearly inspired on a Parker Dufold. It looks nice. I think the clip is not original, it should be a ballpoint clip, and it has this old interesting nib. So very interesting pen that I will review soon. I still need to ink it. Another pen that I got, which is a very special pen in my opinion, is a Flaro Titan. And the Flaro Titan is a pen from Romania, and it was sent to me by a Romanian. Let me try to find room to put it here. It was sent to me by a Romanian pen reviewer, and his channel is called The Pen Collector. And Flaro is a Romanian pen, as I told you, a very big one, clearly inspired by the Montblanc 149. And it is a big pen with a big nib. It was available with steel or gold nibs. This one has a steel nib, it has the broken piston. I will try to fix it because this is a really special pen. If I can't fix it, I will keep it anyway because I think this is a great addition, and it was a very nice gesture from the Bogdan from Pen Collector. And these will fit my collection of large pens next to the Montblanc and some other. Then we have two more Kaweco Sport, and they are the Kaweco Sport for Goldspot pens. And the Kaweco Sport for Goldspot pens are these interesting pens that they are transparent gray, and one is a Skyline and the other one is a Classic Sport. So one has gold trim and the other has chrome trim. And so this is it. I know that the lighting is not that perfect like this, but I need to have a different lighting setup when I'm showing you the writing, so maybe I'm not showing the pens in the best way. And then I also received the Kaweco Sterling Sport. So lots of pens with which I'm writing today, and also the Pilot Costume 74 with which I'm writing today. So two more interesting pens. So I received lots of pens since last video, and I'm here to show them to you. I will make also a video of the pens that I received during last month, but I know maybe people that see the Friday night pen thoughts are different from the people that see the other videos. So if they are duplicate, please just ignore one of those. But please keep checking my channel. Now, I want to talk to you about next videos. Next videos will be kind of hard to predict because there's a lot happening. And for next videos I'll have two kinds of stuff, which will be the Diamine Inkvent calendar review, and I'm very late with that. I was hoping to have them recorded in advance, and I'm not being able to go with that plan, and I still need to record the video that I'm showing you today before this one, if everything goes as planned. So I didn't review the video that is already posted when you see this one. So it's kind of crazy. I cannot promise this time that I will have all those videos once a day because it's getting really difficult. And also I want to post some other videos, pen reviews and such, just because I know that not every people enjoy ink reviews. So there will be if everything goes well, 25 days in a row with 25 inks, and I'll try to make some other videos that will come out in the same day as a ink video, but that's how I need to do it. Now I need to go back to the pens that I received because there was one missing, this large, girthy, small, everything pen, which is the Mahjong. Let me think. This is the Mahjong Q1 transparent. This is a pen that I modified a little bit. It came with a Jinhao, but it was a silver colored nib, and I changed for a gold colored nib because it makes more sense. And I also converted it in the opposite way everyone likes to do. Many people, when I show you, oh, I have this interesting pilot costume, and most people will ask, is that eyedropperable? Can you convert it into an eyedropper? And I don't really like eyedroppers. So I got an eyedropper, and what I thought was, can I convert these from an eyedropper into a cartridge pen? Maybe I'm the only one that wants to do such a thing, but I did, and I'm quite happy with the result. So you can do it. I made a video about it, so you can check the video and see how that is done. And now let's move on, and let's go for the uncommon pen of the day, and it will be this, and this is the Filcao Mini. And what is the Filcao Mini? Filcao was an Italian brand. It is an Italian brand that no longer exists. I think it ended in around the year 2000. You have there Filcao written. You have also the F on the top there, Filcao. And they made pens that mostly resembled like some others. There were pens that resembled like pelicans, others resembled Parker Dufold, and this is kind of a Parker Dufold style with the ball clip, this knurled top. It has no black piece on the bottom. It has a very nice resin, but this pen is really a small pen. You can see it's very hard to write with it. It writes really well. It has this nib that is branded Filcao, and Filcao F looks a little bit like the Facebook F. And it is a fun pen. It is a cartridge pen. It posts, and when you post it, you can write with it. This is one pen that in my opinion, it is not really a pocket pen. It is a pen that goes from the pocket pen range to something that I call a miniature pen, and this is really, it's called Filcao Mini, so it's really a mini pen. It writes well, it is interesting, it has a design that resembles a famous pen, the Parker Dufold. The material is beautiful, it is well made, and most interesting, this pen, when I bought it, I don't know if they are still available on eBay, it cost me 10 euros. So very interesting pen. I really think this is very nice. I could not skip one of those. They made lots of miniature pens, and I think those are lovely. It's so fun to have a very tiny pen. Will you use it a lot? No, but it's so fun. If you have those kind of Altoids emergency kits, you can put one of those, and there are even smaller Filcao Minis with very small nibs. So this is an interesting pen that I just wanted to show you in this uncommon pen of the day. You have a review of this pen that I made before. I will leave the link below so you can check more about the pen. And now we'll go for the other topics, the topics where I talk about stuff, and I will need to zoom out a little bit. And here we are with the camera raised a lot because I want to talk about something else. Let's pick the pilot that is here and write the idea is I love, and maybe you do, loving pens or writing instruments in a wider sense. And what I want to ask is, what about books? What do you think about books? Do you also like books? I have to say yes, I do. I like books a lot. And I wanted to go, this is really off topic when we are talking about writing instruments, but I wanted to ask you that. Do you have a book or an author that you like so much that you have almost kind of an obsession about it? I have to say that I do. I don't know if you noticed when I make at least the most recent reviews that I make, when I make a writing sample, when I write a paragraph, I write a paragraph always of the same book. And I do that because I really enjoy it. And that is a book which is my favorite book ever from my favorite writer. And my favorite writer is a Portuguese writer. So I like several of his books. His name is, you can see here, his name is Raul Brandão. You will look at it and you'll ask, that's Raul Brandão? No, it's not Brandão, because it has that little sign over the A, so it's Brandão, and not Raul, it's Raul. So I'm not trying to teach Portuguese, you can say it however you prefer. I'm just saying that's how it is pronounced, maybe you're curious about that. And this is one of his books. It is an interesting an interesting book. I'm so used to say pens, and so he made several books. You can see here, this is one of the most well-known, which is Os Pescadores, which means the fisherman. And this is one of the books that when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, I first read a text in the Portuguese language textbook. There was a text which was a very small theater play from him, which was a very small one, and it made some impact on me. So I decided that I would like to know more about this writer. And there was kind of a struggle to find more books about him, by him. And one of the books that I really wanted to have was this one. It was very hard to get. This is called A Morte do Palhaço, which means the death of the clown, or the clown's death. And this was a book that I found once in the street. It was raining, so the book is well destroyed. And I got it and I made a new cover for it with some fabric. I wrote here the title because the cover was destructed, and I made these, stained the edges of the leaves, but of the sheets of paper, but it was not a very good job, but that's what I could do at the time. And this was a book that I really wanted to have, and it was very hard to find. So this is really an interesting, so I went for this one. I really enjoyed this book, but even before I got this book, A Morte do Palhaço, you can see here that Raul Brandão was born in 1867 and he died in 1930. Before I got this book, there was this one that I read, and Humus, because there was a recent edition of it. This is an older one. I don't know from when this edition is. I don't think it's written here, so doesn't matter. But I got this book, and humus is the word for compost. So it means that the dirt, the organic matter that is decomposing. So it is a very interesting book that I read, and it had a very deep impact on me, and it really made me think about my life and at that time. So it was kind of a teenager crisis after reading this book. So what is the meaning of life? What why are we here, and so on. So this is one of the books that I got. The other book that is very interesting in my opinion, for me it's not the most famous books from him, those are the best. The other one is the farsa, which means the farce, the kind of play, of dramatic play, and a farce. It is also a very, how can I say, it's not a light book. All these books are very dark, very unhappy. They are not in the romantic writing style from the end of the 19th century. They are between the realism and that romantic thing. And then there was one other book, which is this one, Os Pobres, and this is the only of his books that is translated into English, which means the poor, just that. And he goes through all the human misery, has lack of money, but also the lack of everything else, even sometimes their own humanity. But as I was telling you, this is my favorite author in a point that I have books about him. I have master and PhD theses about him. I have biographies. I have lots of things because I really like him. So I have books by him and books about him. But as I was telling you, the book, my favorite book from him is this, A Morte do Palhaço. And it is such an important book for me that I'm collecting all the different editions of this book that I can find. And I have this one, which I modified, but I also have some original version of this. One interesting thing about this book is that it was written in 1895, and then he rewrote the book later in his life, almost next to his death. So there are two versions of this book. This is the second version. I have the first version here. This is the first edition of the book, which is very interesting. It was not called A Morte do Palhaço, so the death of the clown. It was the history of a clown. This is a very old edition. This is the first edition of the book. And I have here, this is something that the person who gave me the book wrote me. And it's this book. It was printed in 1896. So 1 year later it was written. It is a very beautiful book. I love it. It is in quite nice condition. I really, really love this. This is kind of something precious to me. And it makes sense. I like pens, I like writing, and I like reading. So, História de Palhaço, which is one of my favorite books. But then, this book was re-released. I think it was in 1926, maybe? Yes. 1926. And it was released in this version. This has an hardcover, but this, let me show you. The original cover is this. Some people made this outside cover for it. So this is and now it's called A Morte do Palhaço e o Mistério da Árvore, which means the death of the clown and the mystery of the tree, or the tree mystery, or however you want. I'm sorry, I'm not a translator. And I know I'm going so much off topic, but this is something that I really enjoy, and maybe you find it interesting. Maybe you have some kind of author that you like. So this is the older version of, this is an old version. Sorry, this is an old edition of the newer version of this book. And recently they made some facsimile editions, so they really almost reprinted the original version of the book you can see. This is kind of a facsimile. So you have this book there written in the same way. So this was a re-release with this second version, and you cannot find easily the first version. This is really, really a treasure. There was a very special person who gave me this book, and it was really important. And I have several versions of this book, going through a more modern one like this, and the most modern version I know about, which is this one. It has a moustache because the author had a moustache. And there you have the book. So this is the book that it is very, I think, in this book, and a lot on this humus, is a part of the explanation of who I am today. And it's interesting because the explanation who I am today, I got it very soon in my life, very early in my life. So I was a teenager and I read a book that really changed my life. And I already enjoyed writing. I started enjoying writing even more. I enjoy pens, and everything is so connected, and it makes sense to me. So this very long topic was my idea just to ask you like writing instruments and about books. Do you like books? Do you have a favorite author? Do you have this kind of a very favorite that changed your life, a book or an author in its generality? So if you have some idea about this, please let me know, because I really want to know your opinions about this. I will leave timestamps, so if this part doesn't interest you, you can really skip this. But this is an important part of me, and I just wanted to share with you, because this video is not a pen review. It's a talk based on pens, but sometimes I go into other directions, and I decided that I wanted to go in this more personal way because it really makes sense to me. Now I will stop the video, I will put the camera down again, and let's go for the last topic. Okay, here I am again, and let's go for the last topic, and then the video ends. So the last topic I want to talk about is another personal stuff, but I want to go further than that. The personal stuff is, next week is my birthday, and I just bought a pen. Okay, I buy pens very often, but this is a pen that I bought really because I want it and because I think it is also interesting to show on the channel. But I bought a pen for myself, which is kind of my birthday and Christmas present. And I'm asking you, are you getting a pen, but like a self-gift for birthday or Christmas? Maybe you already had birthday and you already bought a special pen for you. I'm just asking. It's something that I find interesting. When we are pen people, let's call it that way, I know that when we like pens and when you have so many, if you have so many pens as I do, people will give me, who may think of give me a pen, they will think a lot if is it worth it? He has everything and I don't know what he has, so maybe it doesn't make that much sense. That's how people think. So it makes sense in a way that if you buy a new pen, it's like a gift that you give yourself. So if the pen is a present that you give yourself, and if you did it, which pen did you got to you? Or will you get this pen for Christmas or for your next birthday? And if you are going to have it, which will that be? I'm really interested in knowing which pen is that. And related to this, I have kind of a final challenge for you, which is, it's just having a little fun. If you guess, it will be just interesting, is which pen will I be getting for birthday? Can you find out? This is my challenge for you. And I can say you that it is a mix of two pens, and that is the little clue that I'm going to give you. And I will say that the pen will be kind of a mix between the Pilot, it's not this one, it is the older brother, the Pilot Costume, I don't know if you can read that, the Pilot Costume 67, also with a number 5 gold nib, but this one is gold colored and it has some differences in the rings. I will not have much time now speaking about it. And it has this, also the Con 70. So it is a mix between the Pilot Costume 67 and the, yes, this is a Chinese pen, the Wingsung 699, which is a pen like this that is a vacuum filler, has this rod and then it fills up with vacuum. So what I have to say is that the pen that I am getting is kind of in between these two, the Pilot Costume 67 and the Wingsung 699. So I want to know, what do you think my new pen will be? Just please leave it on the comments below. What is your guess about this? I ask you to please leave me comments on these topics about the books. Leave me comments about if you are getting a pen for birthday or for Christmas, and if you are, which pen will you get? And also I want to know, what do you think, which pen do you think that I'm getting? As I told you, again, it is a mix between the Pilot Costume 67 and the Wingsung 699. And so, this is all I had for today. I have to thank you so much for watching the video. And I really want to know about you. Know your thoughts, please talk to me, tell me what you think about all the stuff that I talked, and we'll meet again soon. And please don't forget to try to guess. It is a fun challenge. So this is all I had to show you today. Please keep coming back and we'll meet again maybe tomorrow with another Inkvent ink review. But have a nice weekend. Bye.